Meshi era de denina. Na wani mu nenu muda. Benkwa deni. Jata buwa bediya. Naso ne pari. Wona wonchi irade irade tabua. Good morning, welcome. Welcome to the Good Morning over here on Fiifi-Manfred. YouTube, your best place for football analysis on YouTube. The best place. Good morning. There are lots of things to talk about this morning. Interesting thing because there is a transfer approach. You know, the January transfer, summer, winter transfer window is opening. And once it's opening, there are lots of teams that begin to do their things. There is reports from the UK said Chelsea are closing in on a midfielder. I will talk about the details about all of that. So, last night's international break, the games that they go on, there's a lot of things to talk about. We'll delve deeper into it, the conversation around the World Cup qualifier, and then, of course, the role of certain players in the various countries and teams that they play, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. There's an update on Football Club Barcelona and the things that have happened in Spain, of course, saying for Real Madrid, of course, we'll bring you all of that to us on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn notification, in the notification turn, and do choose all, just so anytime that there's content here, you are first to have it. If you're an investor, then we go again. There are lots of codes, 5 of them in the description of the video below. As it's the international break, usually the World Cup qualifiers of good games. So we've opened all of those up and we've put them in the description of the video. Go and pick up those codes and put them in your Betway app and give yourself a big chance of winning something here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It is very, 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 very imperative that you go and pick them up and give yourself a big chance of winning. Of course, let me say a big thank you to Yesimo Spare Parts Dealership Shop and, of course, MOB Clothing. But starting with Yesimo Spare Parts Dealership Shop, that is the best place for car spare parts in this country. If you want any place that will give you solid car service in terms of spare parts, then it's Yesimo. Nobody does it better than Yesimo. Solid, most consistent, most durable, quality goods. He does it for you. But the good thing is that he's in a car. But if you want him to send it to you wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in the country, whatever you are. In fact, there are times where he used to send some of his goods outside of the country. So that tells you that this is well trusted person in terms of delivering his job. Take it 05931382221. 05931382221. And there's also my man MOB Clothing. Charlie, open store trouser, open store shit, open. What do you want from MOB Clothing? He'll deliver it for you. We be a entire. I was looking for this Birkenstocks, solid Birkenstock, man. It's just I contacted Emo, Jack, me here Birkenstock. Emo say, oh bro, don't make it worry. We go travel, go pick some things, come. We go get a Birkenstock. There and then the Birkenstock is coming. That is what MOB does. It's in show. Just go to Tudu, that flower station that's in Tudu, no. Acts of MOB Clothing. And just contact them. Contact Gerald and them. 0200-668-708. 0200-668-708. Catch your mo. Say Fiifi-Manfred. Say, brah. Yesterday, the World Cup qualifier, something really interesting and intriguing happened. It is the story of N'Golo Kanté back in the French national team. I do not think that anybody that even really believes that N'Golo Kanté is quality even at this age would have expected that performance that he put up for the French national team last night. Nobody. I do not think that was expected. But there was a certain N'Golo Kanté who, in the conversation of everything, was right there last night when France were qualifying for the World Cup. Yes, Mbappe scored a goals, but it was still an N'Golo Kanté quality. On the ball, off the ball. I mean, Makani several times. If you want a midfielder, that makes the job easier. The reading of the game, winning of the duels, nicking the football from the feet of a lot of people, and then really being impressive in how he wants to play, then it's N'Golo Kanté. He is brilliant at it in every definition or connotation of the word. And That's exactly what he put out last night. And it comes back to the conversation of who is the best midfielder when you're comparing Moses Caicedo, N'Golo Conte, and Obitise Michael, the Brazilian Asian. Quality players, but I've said it several times. I do not even think some Moses Caicedo has gotten to the level of N'Golo Conte. I mean, N'Golo is utterly brilliant in everything that he wants to do. And when you watch the French game, the number of minutes that he played, and you see that is a brilliant decision from DJ Deschamps, because currently in the French game, nobody does what N'Golo Conte used to do for them. You remember that World Cup in 2018 when there was N'Golo Conte and our brand friend Paul Abile Pogba in the middle of the park, controlling everything. I mean, stepping up into the middle of the park, N'Golo Conte winning the ball back for Paul Abile Pogba, and Paul using his wide range of passes, diagonal, long, vertical, finding our brand friend Kylian Mbappe in those channels and hitting those Argentines 1v1. I mean, that game in the World Cup. I mean, quarterfinal in Sochi. That is quality French football. And right now, N'Golo Conte was back at it. It's important. See, if you say I'm telling you, wherever you are, at any point where you are in your life, especially if it's at a high point, if you can't enjoy it as much as you can, because again, it is tough, it is difficult, it's more competitive to come across consistent winning of things in whatever field that you are. I mean, and let's use football as an example. Whoever thought that in 2018 there was going to be the total absence, the no conversation of Paul Abile Pogba from French football and even from club football? Today, nobody talks about our branch friend Paul Abile Pogba. Why? I mean, life happens. Sometimes maybe CC that takes people that we thought were going to be at the top, creme de la creme, nothing can bring them down. And it goes. It's essentially the lessons that life teaches us to enjoy moments and also to remain humble, because if you are you don't control everything. Today you are here, tomorrow you are gone. I mean, today you are at the top, tomorrow you are eating grass. That is exactly how life is. So it's important to remain humble. It's important, however, whilst remaining humble, to enjoy the moment and the fruit of the very labor that you put yourself through, because that is the only way that one day, if life happens, you can say, oh, I actually did this. Oh, I actually did that. Oh, I had a good time here. I had a good time there. But now, in the game where France played against Ukraine, France won 100% long balls from our branch friend Kylian Mbappe, our branch friend N'Golo Conte, 2-over-2. 100% successful dribbles. I mean, 1-over-1. 94% pass accuracy from our branch friend N'Golo Conte. 84 passes completed, most in the match. 75% ground was won, 6-over-8, 9 recoveries, 4 tackles, 1 assist for Barca. So it was a total midfield clinic for Barca friend Kylian Mbappe. But then of course, Kylian Mbappe and Ras Sagi, mean that Mbappe scored in that match. What it meant is that Mbappe has scored 400 career goals. Charlie, at age 26. Mbappe has 400 career goals. And we hear that after say Abranti Efreno Pele as the youngest player to reach 400 career goals now, Mbappe is second right there in terms of reaching 400 career goals. What else can you ask for a player, this young player, quality by our standard? And this season, actually 28 goals for club and country. There is some assist in there. Mbappe, after scoring 400 career goals, 400 goals doesn't impress people. I want to make my mark in football history, so I have to score at least 400 more. There is one player with 950 plus, talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, and another with 900 plus 400 isn't enough to stay in the circle of players who shock people. I like that mentality. If you want to stay in the circle of players that shock people and do brilliant things, then Mbappe says that he is not there. He wants to do a lot more in terms of the football that he wants to play. He wants to do more. He wants to make sure things are done. Mbappe, Real Madrid locker room relationship with Xabi Alonso. Who do you want me to see? I have nothing to see. At Real Madrid, when you don't win games, it's like that. When you win games, people don't have anything to say. Talking about a recent dip in form for team and your friend, the football club, Real Madrid. And now, teams like Norway with Erling Haaland also managed to get a win. Very good one from our branch friend Erling Haaland. And then the match, of course, Martin Odegaard. What it means after that win that Norway had is that unless Italy beats them by 10 goals to 0, there is an automatic qualification for the Norwegian national team to go to the World Cup. I think this is going to be the first time since 1998 over there. And the crop of players, Alexander Solo, Erling Haaland, Martin Odegaard, these guys have done an excellent job in making sure that their country looks like they are going to qualify for the World Cup, for the Mundial in 2026. That is a good one for Tima, the friend in Norway. And now, whilst we're talking about that, Chelsea Forum had some good news. Estevao in an interview spoke about a lot of things that has been going on over there. And Chelsea Forum are closing in on a transfer. Top of the list in terms of tempo control at Chelsea Forum because of the Romeo Lavia issues, no injuries. No one player at Chelsea Forum are turning my attention to. I say one Shania they will bring in as a player is this midfielder I'm talking about. But let me run you through this Estevao. I'm interviewing Andre Santos that they've done and what they've been saying about Enzo Maresca and Chelsea and the Premier League. And of course, we'll go back to give you the updates. And now Andre Santos speaking to the Sun Football say, Charlie, it is good that he had that 18 years as an 18-year boy with Brazil at Barca. It was good that he had that education, the education of going to Nottingham Forest, Anfa, going to France, and then, of course, playing at Strasbourg, learning the language, meeting new people, understanding how European football works now. He says that it was the best decision that anybody has taken for him. He says that Chelsea has a strong history of Brazilian players, and now we are there. So happy that we try to and enjoy it every day. Our relationship is so good. Personally, I am so happy to be here with Estevao and Joao. We are always together during training and after training too. For example, when we go to the team hotel before games, I'm always with Estevao. I think this relationship is perfect. That is exactly what our brand friend Joao, our brand friend Andre Santos about Chelsea team is actually. That is the connection that he has with them. That is the good connection on Onyomo, and it's good for him because the Brazilians are building a solid connection in terms of the kind of football that they want to play. It's a good one for him. That process was fundamental for my life and career. It's not easy to leave your country at 18, going through Nottingham, Strasbourg, and now being at Chelsea is a source of pride. Being here with a national team as well gives me great joy, and that's a good one because these guys were just 18. I remember when Andre Santos came, when people kept on saying, "So, I'm born by force." Oh, Chelsea, I'm saying, nah. I mean, you don't need to play Andre Santos automatically in the Chelsea team. This is a boy that just came from Brazil, 18 years. Give him time to grow. And you see, football fans every day put pressure on teams because we want to see our players play, but it's not done like that. It's not that straightforward. The growth in life is not linear. It's everywhere. BBR, you need to, even when a child is walking, they say, oh, but for no, sorry. So, but for no, sorry. And I like the mentality of Andre Santos saying that, Charlie, it was very important for him learning that curve, going to Nottingham, going through what he suffered under Steve Cooper, and then going away to go and play our Strasbourg in France, playing there to the extent that at some point in time, Andre Santos was the captain of the Strasbourg team. Important player. He'll get you goals. He'll progress the ball. He'll do the box-to-box job for you. And of course, now he has come to Chelsea, having cameos, playing, being part of the team. As the season goes on, as next season comes, he is now going to compete consistently. If preseason comes, Enzo Maresca may probably have time to incorporate him into a midfield of Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and of course himself. Something that will probably give him the ability to play consistently and then get results. And that is exactly how you manage players of this nature. You don't manage players of this nature by just throwing them into games. You won't succeed. It's simple. It's just so simple, and it doesn't work like that. You are not going to get success. So see, I think I've matured a lot. The Andre who traveled around and toughened up is more prepared and more mature to play his role on the pitch. That's exactly what Andre Santos is saying when it comes to the kind of quality that he's going to get from there. Of course, you go on and then you look at the quality of all the players. It's amazing when you see how many Brazilian players have played for Chelsea and made history. It gives us motivation. Now it's our turn to do same. That's Andre Santos is saying over there in terms of the quality that comes with it, the quality of play for my brand friend Andre Santos. Yesterday, just before we go into that, Estevao and the boys did train, and two things happened, two shocking decisions that went on at Chelsea. One is the fact that a brand friend Axel Disasi was called by the team to come and train with the first team. Now, Selbe Kaya, one of the things that has been happening is that Axel Disasi is somebody that Chelsea Forum have essentially said that he doesn't have a future there and they wanted to sell him. In fact, they tried so much. Last weekend, when they played the last game before the international break, Axel Disasi played with the Chelsea developmental squad, which is under 21, or the Premier League, the lower Premier League for the developmental side. He was the captain of the side and they won. Now, during the international break, players in the core, Enzo Maresca, Frey Axel Disasi, and Mbappe training with the senior team. So there's a picture of Axel Disasi and our friend Liam Delap, who essentially were doing Axel Disasi tries to tackle the L Horn. And of course, it comes in a wave where John Terry had gone to talk about a friend Mark Gay, Crystal Palace player, said he would love him to come in January if Chelsea wants a centre back. And this is what John Terry said. He said, I would love to see Mark come back at Chelsea. We had a buyback clause at one point as well. If he's available, why wouldn't he come back? And he said it on the Obi-Wan podcast. And in that same training session, there was a brand here friend, Benoit Bediashile. That was our training section, and my man is back. See, I've said it several times, that in the absence of Levi Cowell, there is the need for that left-sided centre-back. It's important. In fact, in the modern game, you don't play a right-sided centre-back, a right-footed centre-back on the left-hand side. The angles do not favor them. Your ball progression angles do not favor them and they will struggle. And what you want is that when teams press aggressively, when they press really tight and passing lanes are almost blocked or blocked, you need to find a natural left footer in a left-footed area and a natural right footer in a right-footed area. Why? They're able to open up passing lanes. They're able to squeeze the ball through those tight passing lanes. And the highest level comes down to this. It comes down to finding passing lanes, finding passing options, and squeezing them through those passing lanes. And of course, making sure that at the end of the day, you play the football to get the results that you want to get. And that is why I'm excited with the return of our brand here friend Benoit Badiashile. He is super important in everything that Chelsea would want to do in the grand scheme of things in terms of building a team, especially in the absence of Levi Cole. If Levi Cole is there, that's a different conversation. I'd rather play Levi and our bench friend Wesley Fofana at this point in time. But I still believe that the quality of Benoit Badiashile is at the top. And he is excellent. He's brilliant. He can really deliver in the football that he wants to play. And I am particularly excited. Our bench friend Benoit Badiashile is coming back on him. And yesterday, right there, he was in the mix. He was in the mix of our training session and it was a really, really, really good one for our bench here. Your friend Benoit Badiashile to come and play the football. And now, like I said, there was that big interview of our brand here friend Estevao. That's how the Brazilians call it. Estevao Willian. He spoke about a lot of things, spoke about his confidence, spoke about what he brings to the team. It was an interview, really interesting one, where Estevao Willian had. He spoke about his relationship with Carlo Ancelotti, spoke about Enzo Maresca, spoke about the role at Chelsea Football Club, how he didn't know things were going to turn out like this when he was joining in at Chelsea and all of those ones. And one, they asked him about his expectation. I mean, I like Estevao's mind, and then, of course, I like his mind. He says that I've always been calm about that. Palmeiras, I've always been a guy who can handle this. Thanks to my family, thanks to my family as well, who keep me grounded, because I know there is still a lot for me to improve to get where I want to be. That's what Estevao Willian is saying now. Estevao on his confidence, spoke about his confidence and what he gives to teams. Estevao says that God gave me the ability because sometimes I don't even know how I do it. I do it naturally. I like the bicycle kick in the Champions League. I saw the ball. I didn't even think about anything else. It was instinctive. I don't know how to explain. Sometimes I get a ball out of difficult situations. The bicycle kicks, something nobody expects. And I think it's natural. And that's what he's talking about. And I think that one of the best things about this guy is that most Brazilian players who have broken onto the scene, they do not sound this grounded, especially this young, especially in recent times. Robinho, we know the story. Ronaldinho, we know the story. Neymar da Silva Santos Jr., we know the story. Vini Jr., we know the story. These guys, those that have been grounded, maybe probably per what we hear in the public domain and in the media, has probably been Ricardo Kaká, who looked like a well-grounded person. But even with that, I mean, Ricardo Kaká is a different type of player. He's more central as a 10, as an 8 and all of that. But this is somebody that seems to be on the level in terms of potential and where he can get to Ronaldinho and the likes. And that is the kind of football that Estevao Willian can give you. But like I say, it's a big conversation. Can Estevao Willian get to the top where he wants to get to? You don't really know. But I think one of the things that makes it very very apparent is the fact that Estevao Willian is a grounded guy. He is somebody or a family oriented. And the family have made sure say he will not go astray. He will stay the course and make sure that at the end of the day he is going to be successful in how he wants to play his football. Now, they asked him to compare the football in Brazil to the football in Europe, especially what he has played in the Champions League, what he has played in the English Premier League, what he has played in the cup games inside the Maresca. Estevao Willian said, "Hey, the difference is glaring. It is different." I say the football here is completely different than in Brazil. It's more aggressive, faster and intense. For anyone arriving, it's a bit complicated, but I adapted quickly. I don't feel 100% adapted yet, but it's been better than I expected. And I think that is true. When you come from Brazil, where you are allowed to play your football and dribble, Charlie, over England, that is where the Elliot Andersons, money at their day, be aggressive on you and tell them, "Oh boy, you're mounting." You won't turn out of the pressure. They won't let you turn out of the pressure. They won't let you come in and dribble your way through anything. Nah, you will play the football as they want you to play. And you will never be almost a chin trying or between 2 3. Now, the Elliot Andersons and those boys, they'll make it easy for you. Now, Estevao Willian spoke again about the adaptation and how it has gone better, why it has been this better for him. Honestly, I think it's the confidence in the manager and the players, and the players give me the confidence the manager and the players give me in training. At first, it was a bit hard because it was a different climate, style of play, different strength. Their motivation helped me loosen up faster. That made me feel at home, more comfortable for me to be able to pull off my dribbles and have confidence to make plays. And I think that is good. One of the things about Enzo Maresca is that Maresca improves players. I've seen it firsthand. I mean, the story of Marco Correa is there for everybody to see. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen how Caicedo have moved from where he was to where he is now. I've seen the progression of Enzo Fernandes. I've seen almost every player in the conversation at Chelsea Football Club move from levels where they probably weren't to top levels in terms of delivering and playing their football. For me, that is the most important thing. That is the most important thing in terms of how you want to deliver and get the results, how you want to play your football, how you want to make sure that at the end of the day, things are done and they are done well, and then you push into the right direction. That is, for me, very important. Now, he was asked about speaking to a friend, Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva has been very impressive, very instrumental to all of these Chelsea players who have come to Cobham in recent times. So when Chelsea wanted to start signing those players, in fact, they brought Hendrik Ramirez to Chelsea to come and watch Cobham. According to Thiago Silva, Hendrik and Mbappe have a lunch and a dinner on the Hendrik family because they felt like, okay, that was going to be a good place for the boy to come. And of course, the boy chose Real Madrid, and we know what the story is. He's not getting the breakthrough into the team. Game time is largely limited and stuff like that. But after saying Hendrik Ebako, Chelsea also invited Estevao Willian. And when Estevao Willian came, they made sure Estevao Willian also met Thiago Silva, who is a senior Brazilian, obviously somebody who has been this Brazilian job for a very long time, Brazilian national team, one of the captains, played in World Cups for Brazil. I mean, played with Paris Saint-Germain and the likes. And at the time, he was at Chelsea. Now, I hope in a moment, Estevao Willian, Mami, and Papa, in fact, the whole family, together with Estevao, went to meet a friend Thiago Silva. So they met Thiago Silva. They had a conversation. They discussed nicely. And of course, Estevao Willian, Nebusi and Fonica said, per the Chelsea projects now, Thiago Silva explaining at show. He thinks that one shiny year, that place is going to be a good place for him. Now let's listen to what Estevao says. Estevao says, after the last game in 2024 season in Brasileiro, we had a quick conversation. He told me I would like the club a lot, that they have incredible structure. I'm seeing it now. The club is everything I need, an incredible setup, incredible staff that work here. I was happy to talk to him because he's an idol here at the club, and that is very, very important. It was an important thing to do when Chelsea managed to connect Estevao Willian and their brand friend Thiago Silva for them to be able to speak, for them to be able to get to know each other. Senegal, it was going to be a very, very good one for our brand here friend Estevao, William L. Hodona. Estevao goes on. He says that the start at Chelsea, it's much better. I was wondering for a year and a half about how it would feel to be here, but I've adapted quickly. I've been able to play. I've adapted well inside and outside of the club. That is a very, very good one from our brand here friend Estevao, William, because life seems to be going on. They asked him about Maresca, and then the coach say, "Hey, Enzo Maresca, no, say not here. How is he like? How is he managing you? Do you like what Maresca is giving you? Is he a top manager? Is he brilliant? Can he help you? Can he help this Chelsea team, man?" Enzo Maresca say, Maresca is an incredible person and a human being that tried to bring out the best out of me. There are difficulties with English, but always he speaks to me in Spanish. He gives me guidance in Spanish. So I'm happy with that because he wants the best for me. Hold on. That is exactly what Estevao Willian is saying. So he's enjoying his time at Chelsea Football Club with Enzo Maresca because, I mean, things seems to be going on well. Even the language barrier, no, it's not an issue because Enzo Maresca is Spanish, into an Spanish. On only English, then said I the best. Only Estevao in English, then said I the best. But then he speaks in Spanish with our brand friend Enzo Maresca. And it's very, very good for him because he likes it. And right now, Marco Correa, almost bizarre about the conversation over there. So he needs to pass the Correa test. SofaScore Football say, unfortunately, Yamal plays in the Champions League. And as SofaScore say, you see you next season, right? Of course, okay, last season, not Lamine Yamal more hyping will be say, hey, he needs to pass the Correa test. And this season, we'll see if our brand friend Lamine Yamal Ibanez Nazraoui will be able to pass the Marco Correa test. It's important. So we'll see if it's going to. I think we are not going to win the league this season, but then we are building according to John Obi on the Obi-Wan podcast talking about the chances of Chelsea in winning something this season. Are Chelsea truly going to win the English Premier League? I think it's a little bit far-fetched. But then again, there's a chance to build. There's a chance to build a squad that goes to go and get the decision done. We'll see how things are going to be done. We'll see how things are going to go on and then get a job done in terms of the quality of play, how they want to play, how they want to make sure that things are done in the right direction. We'll see how things are going to be done. I'll hold them on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing us. Of course, we'll be back with more. They were supposed to tell you about the latest transfer update of the Chelsea midfielder in the next video.